Well. Looks like Dempsey has decided to come back and respond to No, my apologies. Statler has come back to respond to Dempsey, and this time she's even come in with some receipts and also some videos to, tell her side of the situation. But hey, let's get into it.
A narcissist will always end up in a relationship, whether there was a discard and they just left you for another, or they can just like quickly find someone into that relationship quickly. It happens because they fear being alone. They can't be alone. They don't know how to be alone because they don't know how to fill themselves up. There's such a void of there that they need external validation, and this relationship gives them external validation. They also are really afraid of them for who they are. So this is why no rebound relationship, no matter who the next person is, this narcissist will always study this person to see what is it that they really want. And those are the things that this narcissist is going to give them. And this is where sometimes a victim will say, oh my God, look, my ex is treating this new person way better than they ever treated me. No, it's the same game that's being played. It's just done differently.
Well, that was phase one of Statler making a point. But let me just read the caption itself in particular before we proceed into the next one. It says, "It's triggered me because I see myself in the new one and I want to save her even though I know I can't." Did Statler just call herself narcissistic? Interesting. But of course, there was a whole lot more said in that, and I think the main point of view that was meant to be said was more the fact that Statler struggles with being single. I mean, that's something that we definitely knew about in the first season anyway. Nonetheless, though, let's move on to the next one. Give me your thoughts on that first one. Let's get into it.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, they both, oh yes.
Oh yeah, this one's literally a bunch of sounds, but obviously this bit here actually stays exactly the same. My apologies. And as you can see, it says, the sound that plays when the narcissist realizes their autistic partner is going to call out their manipulation and see all their patterns and fight back. And she puts, "It took me a long time, but I finally realized." So therefore, going back to the first one itself in particular, clearly this is Statler calling Dempsey a narcissist. And end of the day, now she's out here talking about how the narcissist was pretty much out there trying to, be a narcissist. And obviously in the situation, the way she references to the fact that, she's of course the autistic partner who's obviously now calling out the manipulation and obviously sees the patterns. And obviously this is why she's fighting back. Now, my only issue with this is that Statler just has a very strange way of fighting back. But then again, at the same time, sometimes you have to fight fire with fire if you've already tried to fight fire in a more sensible manner. Whether or not Statler tried that, I guess we'll never know. But nonetheless, though, let's move on to the next one.
You talk too much.
Right, so in this one itself in particular here is literally screenshots of their conversation, okay? And obviously, just like Dempsey did in the last one, Statler has obviously gone out of her way in this one itself in particular, and she's obviously, decided to drop in some of these screenshots. So let me read exactly what they say themselves in particular. Now, this one begins by saying, "You're not going to be homeless. I can give you 7K today, and I have 2K in cash. You can collect, and 5K I can bank transfer. If you were smart, you'd house sit for the year so you could save all the money you wanted to become the millionaire you're so desperate to be." And then there's also another comment there also said, it says, "So don't tell me you're going to be homeless, cause that's just BS. You also could just live somewhere and settle down like you want to do." Now, I'm assuming these messages here are the messages that Dempsey has sent towards Statler. Now, with that being said, also here, as you can see, something in particular, it does say that after leaving me in another country with only a vacation-packed suitcase, she did give me 3K this day. However, we were paid from the show months ago, and I haven't seen a cent of the rest. In fact, she did leave me homeless, LOL. At least I kept my car. So that's what she says in this little screenshot, in this one itself in particular. But then we move on to the next one. The next one, as you can see here, is showing you the differences in the currency. Okay, obviously showing that if you was to exchange 7K pounds into dollars, it would be pretty much 9,100. Let's just round it up. Let's keep it simple, okay? And obviously here she does go out of way to also say that pound to dollar would be 9K she owes me, and that 7K was the base amount of what I was owed. She said she'd calculate the rest of what she owed me, but never did. You know, I will say this though before we continue. Sometimes in life we give money to people, and sometimes the money that we give people, we never see it again. And when that happens, sometimes we just have to sit. We just have to move on. I mean, listen, the question is this here. What does what does Statler want out of this? Is she in this position where she really wants to see her money again? Or is she actually just trying to out Dempsey for being the person that we didn't see Dempsey to be? I mean, I guess it depends on her agenda, but boy, sometimes you have to bite the bullet, you know, sometimes. But then again, obviously, this is a lot of money, and I guess a lot of people wouldn't want to bite the bullet on this type of situation, so I do get it. Now, this is interesting because this conversation that she has dropped is literally continuing from the screenshots that Dempsey had leaked earlier on to us, okay, that we spoke about in the previous video. Now, as you can see here, in that continuation, Statler says, "Are you?" And then she says again, "I know you got paid from the show. When will you send me the money you owe me for the van?" Then she goes, "I'm trying to start a life for myself. Would be bad karma if you left me hanging on this after you agreed to pay for me." Then also continues again by saying, "Why have you blocked me? Why won't you even talk to me?" And she goes, "Here's the whole convo. Stonewalled and blocked." So right now, Statler is definitely coming in with the receipts. And therefore, if you ask me personally, she's definitely showing Dempsey to be the person that she claims Dempsey to be. And that's somebody that has used her in this situation. I feel like she probably watched my video, because I did say in the video earlier on that the good thing that Dempsey did was come out with some evidence, with some receipts, and Statler then decided to come in with a stampede of receipts. You know what I mean? But hey, the conversation is there, and as you can see, Statler also messaged Dempsey on 4 different days as well with no reply. Now we move on to the next one itself in particular. Now in this one itself here, as we can see, it's another screenshot continuing by saying we have different perspective. That's what Statler says. And also says, "No point in arguing. What is the price you'd like to consider paying to buy out the van?" And then obviously Dempsey responds by saying, "I need to work it out. I think I owe you 1,500. Okay, so 15k pounds. Okay, just to make sure the currency is correct there. But also at the same time, Statler responds by saying, "Why that low? I've put money into it just like you." And Dempsey responds by saying, "You bought 2 batteries and I bought 2 batteries. You paid for the heater, £200, and I paid £200 for the heater. I've paid for every service, every MOT, and the handbrake and the electronics, the insurance, the bike rack, the AA cover, the shower fixing." For people who don't know, the AA cover is pretty much breakdown cover, okay? Because obviously AA is a UK company. I don't know if it's a company in the States, just to clarify what AA is. And then also, as you can see here, Statler also adds as a caption, the list of things I bought for the van is just as long. So of course, this is Statler going out of a way to basically say, hey, if you want to compete, we can compete about who's bought the most and who spent the most. All I want is my goddamn money. I mean, listen, this is absolutely crazy. Now, of course, as you can see here, Statler goes back to showing us the currency and obviously the differences with the currency, and saying that, hey, 15k pounds in US dollars is pretty much 19.5k, okay? And as you can see here, Statler puts down by saying more like 20k. Really worried for this new girl, genuinely. So now Statler showing her concerns for Dempsey's new partner. I mean, good on you, girl. Anyway, with that being said, though, as you can also see here itself in particular, Statler continues by saying, "Hadn't looked back at our convos because they make me feel sick." But she did give a ballpark number of 15k/90k I see. And then also on top of that here, Statler goes as far as now responding to someone, and I believe this is responding to someone on Reddit. And as you can see, this person's, and you know what, this is actually really bad, because this means Statler is too active. The fact that she's out here on Reddit looking for things as well, yo, girl needs to calm down. She needs to focus on what she needs to get, and that's the money. Not focusing on whether or not people are on her side or not. That's not relevant to the conversation. So therefore, I do believe this is also a move to, you know, make Dempsey look like a bad person, make her look like as if she's not that bad too, which really and truly is not that important. But as you can see, this person came out by saying there was a couple posts about it a couple of weeks ago. Statler posted on her Insta that 90 Day Camera Crew member apparently admitted to her that a producer was hooking up with Dempsey during her supposed solo vacation. Apparently, the vacation/work arc has a whole rouse for the producer and Dempsey to have a free rendezvous together whilst the filming. I was pretty wild. It was pretty wild allegations, but Statler posted supposed screenshots of someone from the staff telling her this, and all who knows what really happened. And as you can see right here, right now, Dempsey decided. I mean, Statler also adds in this caption: "I never said Dempsey cheated with a producer. This never happened. I don't know where the rumor came from. Show the receipts because I'm not being accused of saying this, but I never did. I'm happy to call her out on things she has done, but she never cheated on me with anyone on the crew. That's nuts." So just to clarify, but as far as I was concerned, the information that we was told by Statler was that Dempsey was cheating on her with someone, and the producers knew that Dempsey was cheating on Statler with that person and still allowed her to film with Dempsey, despite the fact that he knew that one of Dempsey's friends, that's it. So it was one of Dempsey's friends that Dempsey was now being, obviously, doing a madness with behind Statler's back. That's the story that I remember. And that's why she says without anyone on the crew, okay? Which obviously she's clarifying that it was the crew. It wasn't someone on the crew, but it did happen, okay? But now, with that being said, there's another one, as you can imagine, because boy, a girl has got energy. And okay, I'm doing too much. Now, with that being said, in this one itself in particular, right here, right now, okay? Statler comes up by saying, "On second thought, I don't feel sorry or worried for the new girl. Apparently, she's been flirting with Dempsey on her post even when we were still together. Looks like they were talking before we even split. They are a perfect match, and I know I have a strong feeling she cheated on me emotionally with her new girl before we ended things. Cheers to them." Now that is quite interesting, very, very interesting. But hey, to be honest with you, I don't know why she even felt the need to even say what she said originally regarding obviously feeling sorry for the new girl anyway, to be honest with you, because it's not your concern. Just worry about what you need, and that's your money, right? Come on now, stay focused. But this is the problem with Statler. She's all over the place. She can never stay focused on one thing. But nonetheless, though, in this last one here, she says, "People calling me obsessed or psycho. Obsessed with the truth and not letting myself end up portrayed unfairly. Raise your hand if your manipulative ex ever tried to make you look like the crazy one." Listen, here's the thing. Of course, if you've been in a relationship with somebody that is manipulative, they are going to make you look like the crazy one 100%. But if you can get away from that manipulative person, that is a win. Do you really need to go back and try and prove that they were the crazy one? If you need to, because maybe you're trying to get them arrested or you're trying to do something like that, then yes, 100%. But if you're trying to prove it just for the sake of the public, just so we can see the truth, I mean, listen, to be honest, the truth does matter. So I do respect it. But there's ways of going around it. And the problem is Statler goes around it in very, very funky ways. But in the day though, Statler, I will tell you this right here, right now, if you're watching this video. There are many, many people that have been able to see straight through Dempsey and aware the fact that Dempsey used you and the fact that she was definitely not a good person to you. Trust me, people see it. It's just that just because you got people in your DMs or in your comments saying that you're the bad one, it doesn't mean that there isn't people out there who do see the truth. So like, relax, okay? Focus on the goal. And like I said, the goal really and truly is focusing on the money, getting you money back, okay? And if you can save your character in the process, then do what you gotta do. But be wise about it. But hey, I guess being wise isn't really a part of your arsenal, is it now? Now, with that being said, that is where we are right now regarding Statler in particular and her mission to, well, I guess to expose the fact that Dempsey owes her money. Whether or not exposing Dempsey owes her money is going to get her money back or not, that's something I guess we don't know because obviously it hasn't happened just yet. Obviously, this tactic doesn't necessarily mean that she isn't getting money back because she's only exposing her to us. None of us are in the position where we can make Dempsey give Statler the money that she's owed. You know what I mean? That's just that. The only thing that we can do is pretty much be here to report and be like, yes, this woman used you, and yes, this woman has done you wrong, and yes, this woman owes you money. But that's as far as it goes. So I guess really and truly, the only thing you're going to gain from this is gaining the fact that we are going to see the truth of who Dempsey is. But that's definitely not going to get your money back. So yeah, start moving channels that are correct, that can actually help you get your money back. Because right now the way you're behaving is not allowing you to get your money back. But I will say this though, Dempsey has just also, no, not just, sorry, I've just seen a post by Dempsey, which I do believe is also a response to everything that Statler said here. So let me get to that post right now. So as we can see here in this cheeky little post, Dempsey has literally posted a quick few second video. And as you can see in this quick little second video, it's her literally sipping some wine. And I'm going to assume that this is a response because it looks like she's basically saying that I don't really care. I'm just going to chill here and enjoy my drink. I mean, I've seen that tactic be used before by women over here in the UK. So that's why I'm assuming that this is a response. It may not be one. It may not be one, but I've got a hood hunch that basically this is her saying that, listen, girl, you keep saying what you're saying, but it ain't going to mean a single thing to me. Well, you guys let me know exactly what you're thinking down below, and we can most certainly talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.